Hey guys, what's cracking? It's Krakenation. I'm coming at you guys today to talk about DRACOVISH. DRACOVISH is one of these hot new Pokemon in Generation 8 Pokemon Sword and Shield. And today we're going to be taking a look at what things you can do to make DRACOVISH a part of your competitive team, its strengths, its weaknesses, your team building options, things to look out for, all that good stuff. So let's get right into it today, guys. So DRACOVISH is kind of taking over the competitive scene right now. This thing's got some definite competitive viability, and it's really thanks to one move in particular that we will go over. So let's take a look at these stats right off the bat. First up, you're going to see pretty much average stats across the board. You've got decent HP, okay attack, nothing great. 100 defense is decent, but pretty poor special bulk. I'd say on average, you're looking at a above average physically defensive Pokemon. Like, I'd say a 6 out of 10 physically defensive, just off pure stats alone, and then maybe like a 4 out of 10 on special defense. And then for your special attack, obviously not too stand out, and your speed is okay, but not good by any stretch of the imagination. Your Water Dragon type, which is a really cool type, and we've seen it be really successful on Pokemon like Kingdra in the past. And what that does is it allows you to have a plethora of really useful resistances, but only 2 weaknesses in Dragon and Fairy. So in the past, before Fairy type was introduced, this was even a better defensive typing. Now it's a little worse, obviously, with Fairies running around the meta, but still very good defensive typing. Gives you a lot of key resistances, which is really nice. So pretty decent defensive typing overall. Gonna be hard to hit you super effectively most of the time. Distinct abilities are all pretty good, actually. Water Absorb, Strong Jaw, and Swift Swim. So Water Absorb gives you that immunity to water type moves, which you are already 4 times resistant to, so it's not that useful. But Strong Jaw is probably your best ability because it gives you a 50% attack boost on all bite style attacks. That's things like Crunch, things like Ice Fang, and a particular move that we will talk about later. And the last ability is Swift Swim, which we know can be a good ability in the context of a rain team, which I think you could run DRACOVISH on if you really wanted. So definitely has the possibility of being quite competitively viable. Let's go ahead and take a look at the notable moves for this guy. And you'll take a note that there's not quite as many as there sometimes are. That's because this thing's special move pool is kind of a waste to use. But we're going to take a look at this thing's offensive move pool here, especially its bite attacks right now. So it's got Crunch, it's got Ice Fang, it's got Psychic Fangs. And the big one here, guys, is Vicious Rend. Vicious Rend is insane with Strong Jaw. Absolutely nuts. The reason for that is that Vicious Rend is a 85 base power water type bite move. Okay, honestly, we could stop right there, and that would be a move that this Pokemon would run on 100% of its competitive sets. Boom. Case closed. 85 base power, stab move, water typing with Strong Jaw boosting it. Good to go. Run it on every single DRACOVISH set. But it does not stop there. Oh, no, no, no. Vicious Rend will give you a 2 times boost if your Pokemon attacks first. That becomes an 160 base power move alone. But then we give it Strong Jaw, and then we give it Water type stab, and this move just becomes a one-man wrecking crew. If you are not resistant to it, you are going to get destroyed. And if you are resistant to it, you are probably still going to hurt very, very, very much. Vicious Rend is a fantastic move and will single-handedly carry this thing to all competitive viability. Without it, it would probably be a decent Pokemon at best. It also has the thing is other moves to make use of, like Earthquake, like Low Kick, Outrage, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Psychic Fangs. It's got moves to make use of that strong ability and coverage moves, so this thing has all the tools it needs to be a powerful offensive presence in the meta. Let's take a look at this first set I have for you guys here, and I think this is going to be the best set that you have the chance to run in competitive play, and this is the Choice Scarf set. We're going to run item Choice Scarf, ability Strong Jaw, 252 attack, 252 speed, and a Jolly Nature. That's to maximize your speed, and thanks to Choice Scarf, with that decent speed stat off of a Choice Scarf, you'll be able to outspeed most things, especially up to like base 120-ish or so, and then you'll just absolutely wreck shop with Vicious Rend. You will always be faster, hopefully. If Pokemon, this meta has slowed down a little bit, so if you are against opposing Pokemon that are slower than you, which you are running a Scarf, so usually if your opponent's Pokemon isn't also a Scarfer or ridiculously fast like a Barraskewda or Dragapult, you're going to outspeed it and wallop it. I mean, you are going to wallop it with Vicious Rend. Now, you have the choice to run this set with a choice ban. That will be more of a physically more like a wall breaky set. Not that this set isn't already kind of wall breaky, but Vicious Rend will allow you to be even more devastating with a choice band. But keep in mind, you will be very slow if you don't have the Scarf as an item. So that set will be purely for breaking down stall teams. Worth noting that things like Ferrothorn can't switch into Vicious Rend if you're running a choice band really easily at all. So Choice Band has that viability as well, but I think for the most part, Scarf will be your best go-to. You can run things like Crunch and Psychic Fangs and Ice Fang as well, also notably, to make use of your great ability and your great move pool to utilize it. Also has options like Outrage, Low Kick, and Earthquake. I would run Low Kick and Earthquake as well. Maybe hit those things like Steel types. Low Kick could help with that. Help you hit Ferrothorns and the like. That could be very helpful. But you've got some options here. Pretty much 75% of the time with Dracovish, you're going to click Vicious Rend, so your coverage moves are kind of insignificant. Run whatever you feel will help you best adapt to the meta you are facing. For pros and cons of Dracovish, we're going to talk about the fact that Vicious Rend is nuts. Like I talked about over and over again in this video, this move will single-handedly carry this Pokemon to all competitive viability. It's got great abilities in general, Strong Jaw and Swift Swim both seeing competitive play. Decent physical bulk is going to be pretty helpful for it. It's going to be able to take some hits, as well as that good defensive typing will furthermore aid it in taking hits. There are some cons though. It's got poor natural speed to make use of Vicious Rend, so you really need to find a way to boost that up. One-dimensional, unfortunately, you are a physical attacker and you're usually going to click Vicious Rend, so your opponent can play around the fact that they know what you're going to run and know what you're going to click. If your opponent had a Pokemon like with Water Absorb or Storm Drain, and you are basically useless as Dracovish, you are marginally useful because your best move has been completely neutralized. Mediocre special bulk, that's going to be your more exploitable defense for sure. And finally, no special offense. That's only something I include. I usually don't think that's a huge con. You don't need to be a mixed attacker to be viable in competitive Pokemon. But in this case, you are so one-dimensional. It's kind of like with Medicham. Like, you were only ever clicking High Jump Kick with Mega Medicham unless there was a Ghost type. And so a lot of people will run Ghost types into Mega Medicham just for that reason. Dracovish falls into a similar category where you're only ever really going to click Vicious Rend. And because of that, you might fall into a little bit of a trap down the road. Some team options that I want you guys to think about are Cleaners and Wall Breakers, depending on if your Dracovish is Scarf or Bandit. If you are running Scarf, I would run more Wall Breakers on your team to help you wear through and hopefully get a late game clean with your Dracovish. If you are running more of a Bandit set, you probably want to support it with some cleaning options so that once it wall breaks your opponent's team, you can come in and clean up. Rain support could be really good for Dracovish as well, running it on a context of a Rain team. Electric pivots are going to be really good to take on those bulky water types, bring in Dracovish, hopefully for free. Pokemon with U-turn also could be really helpful for those bulky grass types. And finally, hazard support is going to be really good, especially on the Scarf set. That hazard support will chip down your opponent's Pokemon when they come in. Something like Spike stacking could be very, very helpful. Furthermore, even Sticky Web support could be really helpful because Dracovish is going to really appreciate that Sticky Web's support. So further talking about looking at things that it really appreciates being beat. So those are big threats for Dracovish. Bulky water types are the biggest problem for it, especially ones that are immune to water types. Obviously, things like Jellicent could be a big problem because they are going to be able to come in and hopefully eat those Vicious Rends. Now, notably, if they aren't immune to Vicious Rend, it's still going to hit them probably pretty hard, and most of the time, 2 to 3 hit KO them if they're not bulky enough. Really bulky ones will probably be 3 hit KO from a really powerful Vicious Rend, while less bulky ones might be 2 hit KO. It's kind of in the air. So that's something you need to be aware of. Same thing with bulky grass types. These Pokemon can both hope to stomach these powerful Vicious Rends from this Pokemon and move from there. Finally, very bulky physical walls. If you're not getting the theme here, if you are a Pokemon able to take Vicious Rends, then you are a problem for DRACOVISH, and that's what you need to do when you support it. Things like wall breakers to bust through those really bulky physical walls so the DRACOVISH can go basically uncontested. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. This is a Pokemon that I am incredibly excited about. Looks like a lot of fun to use. Let me know what you guys have thought about DRACOVISH so far in the competitive metagame, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Krakenation out.